is Chef Ernest Cervantes, and today I'm going to show you one of my really all-time favorite summer snacks, a Veracruz style Campechana. Very few ingredients we have today. We have some fresh cilantro, fresh jalapenos, fresh Roma tomatoes, some imitation crab meat, shrimp, limes, spinach, cucumbers, avocados, and a couple of other ingredients. So let's get started. So what we're going to use first of all is the base of a Campechana, which we're going to go ahead and put 2 cups of ketchup. You can use any other kind of ketchup. This is one of my favorite because it has a little bit sweeter tint on that. After you put the 2 cups of ketchup, we come back with clamato. Clamato is one of these really good fresh ingredients that they use in Mexico when they make any kind of Campechana. We're gonna put about 1.5 cups of it in there. You can, if you want a spicier kind, you're like, hey, I need some spice in my life. We like to use a good michelada mix or a Bloody Mary mix. I'm not too crazy about the Bloody Mary mix due to it has a lot of pepper tones in there and it kind of differentiates the flavor. But if that's how you like it, to each his own. Next, we're gonna put a cup of Sprite. You know, it's crazy, right? Cup of Sprite. And then last but not least, we're gonna put some Fanta Orange. Fanta Orange, if you can't find Fanta Orange, you can use Jarritos. There's one called a Mandarin Orange, really great. If you can't find any of those, you can always use Sunkist. I need about a cup of that too. So let's go and stir it up. Basically what we're doing is just diluting the ketchup in here. Kind of has now that nice form. Here's where you can go and change things up. A good tablespoon of a good olive oil is where you go ahead and put this in here. I don't really like it in there. I don't see the purpose of it, but in tradition, a good Campechana has a great teaspoon of olive oil. Now we're gonna go ahead and put a 1/2 bunch of cilantro. On the cilantro part, it's optional, but again, you gotta have some kind of cilantro herb flavor on there. Now we're gonna go ahead and put 1 jalapeno, diced, fresh, not pickled. You don't want that vinegar flavor on here, you want a freshness. Now if you want it spicy, you can leave the seeds on. Mine, I de-seed it, and I really mince it really fine. Now we're gonna come back with fresh diced tomatoes. I like to use Aroma because they're a lot more ripe, and it just gives a really good flavor. This always reminds me of this recipe actually is from one of the ladies I used to work with at another restaurant. She'd always make this in the kitchens because sometimes the kitchens always got a little hot. So this was more of a refresher for us. So we really liked it when she used to make it. So now we're gonna come back with squeeze 2 limes. And you'll be amazed at how fragrant, how aromatic this dish is. It really brings back a lot of memories of working at that other restaurant. And on a hot day, we used to eat these up. It was nobody's business. So see if you like it as well. Okay, so once we stir it in there, you're probably asking, why don't we have any salt? I don't ever put salt in it until the next day or after we've let it marinate for about a good 4 to 5 hours. So now we're gonna add our crab mix. What we have here is about 1 pound of imitation crab. What I have here is I minced it up really, or chopped it up really good. Put it in there. And then on the bottom, as you can tell, I went ahead and left it there in big chunks. The reason why I like it, just different textures, and it kind of brings it to a different presentation-wise. It looks really, really pretty. Next, we have here shrimp. These are 7190s. In the culinary world, we can call these little cocktail shrimp on here. Same thing I did too. I minced half of it. This is another pound. This is a pound of shrimp. I minced half, and then the rest I left whole. You can use the big ones if you want to. If you're going to serve them in like a margarita martini glass, it's great for that. But since we're going to serve it more of the style of in a big dish, we kind of want it. So we got some really good looking flavors here, as you can tell. It's got a nice color. And now the key to this whole thing is you let it marinate overnight. If you don't have it marinated overnight, that's fine. At least 4 hours in a cooler to get it real nice and chilled. That's the key to this whole process of making a great campechana. Is just like a ceviche. You marinate these flavors. It comes out really intense, a lot of fun, and this is a really good, party favorite, as I say. So now we're gonna go ahead and plate this up. And the powers of TV, we have it ready. So I'm gonna get my dish here. Always when you're kind of cooking with Mexican food or anything like that, we want to have a festive bowl or something that just really entices everything. So I got this really beautiful festive bowl here, and now we're going to put the campechana on here. Oh, one last thing. Usually when you get a campechana at any kind of restaurant, they always serve it on a bed of cabbage. And the reason why is when you're getting it with corn chips or whatever, you can eat it as a meal and then you have the nice cabbage at the end. What I really fell in love with is I went to a place and they use spinach. So right now what I'm going to use is organic baby spinach. So I just like to put it down here on a bed. The spinach. Oh yeah, that looks good. And then you come back with your campechana. And last but not least, what I was going to tell you is that sometimes if you want it more saucy, you can. I kind of like to leave it a little bit of half and half so you can, it's more of a dip. So we're going to go ahead and put it like that. Looks beautiful. And now we're going to come back with our garnishes, aka our chips and our thing. So I like to come back and garnish it really cool with some really half corn tortilla chips. Oh yeah, that looks great. Nice, colorful, summery kind of dish. Now I like to put one side with corn chips. I come back on this side. With cucumbers. Oh yeah. And then one fun thing that I like to put at the end too is I love to put pork rinds. There's nothing better when you get a good pork rind and you dip this up. It comes out really, really, really good. And now we're going to garnish it with a little bit of avocado. And the one thing with avocado that you can use too is you can dice up some avocado, mix it up with the mix. And unless you're going to serve it that day, it tends to turn black, so I really don't like to recommend using avocado in your campechana unless you're going to put it on top. So now we come back with some avocado. Makes it look beautiful. And then I like to come back with anything, if you have like a tahine or any kind of, this one's a chili lime that you can get at the stores when you go and buy your beer. If you just come back and just sprinkle. I love to put this on my cucumbers. And this is the part where I was telling you about the salt, that you really don't need a salt mixture because this stuff has a lot of salt on it. I love to just go ahead and put it all up in here. Put some love. And this brings it to another element of flavor. Looks great. Come back and garnish with some beautiful limes. All right, so what you have here, coming back and garnish a little bit of cilantro. What you have here is a Veracruz style campechana with shrimp and crab on a hot summer day. This hits the spot. Thank you and have a great day.